Hey guys, Jessica here. I really appreciate you speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because today I'm going to walk you through a couple strategies you guys can start applying right away, and it will make a huge difference in your business, and I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with other plumbers and restoration companies throughout the US, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Now, I did speak to Stephanie, and she said Lubbock Leak Detectives and Earls are kind of one and the same. And I do notice that you have two separate websites, so I'm not sure exactly how you guys are structured. If you don't really care about the Lubbock's Leak Detectives brand, because maybe Earls filters those jobs over to you guys. I'm not really sure, so I'm just going to kind of take a look at both these websites with you and just give you a few tips that you can start applying. Okay, so as far as Lubbock Leak Detectives. First of all, I absolutely love this logo. It is so fun. There's so much you could do with this guy. Okay. Um, but right now, this website itself gets zero traffic to this website. So you're missing out on 100% of searches for plumbing services and leak detection services. Okay. Um, because nobody can find you online. Now, um, that is because Google does not rank websites based on appearance. It is based on content. Content is the key to everything when it comes to ranking. Google's done a huge change in how they're ranking. So mobile first is a huge priority. Um, you need to make sure that right now this is a single page website, okay? And that is never going to help you. You have to have a separate page for all of your individual services and each service area that you serve. Google requires that because they want a single page dedicated to that one service that allows you to explain everything about the service, answer the most common questions, and focus on the local keywords people are actively searching for that service. And they need to be local, not your national keywords, because you can't help everybody in the US, okay? Since you're a local business, you have to focus on local keywords. And so you have to focus on the keywords related to each of these services and have a location attached. So since your main service area is Lubbock, it might be Lubbock water line repair, okay? Or water line detection, Lubbock, Texas, okay? So you have to have that location in there. That is absolutely critical. Google is sending crawlers to these websites to help you scan, not you, but to scan your website to understand more about your business. So every single image, every single video needs to be optimized with the local keywords. Hotel sync is not going to help you, okay? All the written content needs to be focused on those local keywords, and you need at least 1,500 words on your homepage or more. If your competitors have 1,500 words, you need more than they do. So this page doesn't really have any content, and there's zero keyword strategy here. Okay. And so you definitely have to work on your pages and your content and keyword strategy. Now, if Earls is filtering everything over, when we look at Earls is a great looking website. You have the click to call phone numbers. You have separate pages for all of these services, which is exactly what you need. You have fairly decent content. Like I said, Google's made a lot of changes. And so we have to kind of get away from more of the generic content, but really be helpful content, explaining how these situations happen, what to do in these situations, what type of equipment do you use, really showcasing yourself as an expert. FAQs and questions and answers are great and can help you show up in AI searches, and language learning models like ChatGPT and Gemini. But you need to have at least 100 words here. Okay. And again, the same thing, the same content keyword strategy. Really be hyper focused on those keywords. Just simply listing the services isn't enough, but these are interlinking with those pages, so that is actually helpful. And then just having more content, better quality content, really hyper focused on those local keywords. But you have a fairly decent website going on here. Okay. And then you do have to have separate pages for each of the service areas that you service. So people in each of those communities can find you. Now, again, 90% of people who search for services don't know your name, don't know who you are. And so, as important as your brand is, regardless of how long you've been in business, your main focus on your website and keyword strategy has to be built around the services, not just the brand, okay? Now we know when people do a search in Google, they're going to do a search similar to this, okay? And when they do, there's 3 main areas your website has the opportunity to be in top positions for. And those are the first position is always going to be your ads. So it looks like you are already doing local service ads under URLs. And so this can be a really lucrative position as long as you have all your processes dialed in. If you're using cost per click, that you're having proper landing pages and not just sending people to your main website, because otherwise you're going to lose people and really have a poor ROI. The second section here, this is your Google Map Pack. And you want to be in the top 3. So you guys are in the top 3 for this specific search. So that's good. But if you find that you are not in the top 3 for a related search for the services you offer, you do need to further optimize this profile, okay? You need to go out and get more citations, which are simply listing the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Glassdoor, Angie's, Home Advisor, even your social media profiles, okay? All of those are really critical citations to have, and we need more than our competitors. Whenever we're competing, we always need more. So that's more content, more citations, more pages, more long form blogs, etc. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. And then this third section here, it looks like Earls is in the top 3 too. So really good job on that. This section here though, this third section, this is your organic section. This is the most important section because 60 to 70% of people skip ads, skip the maps, and come right here into the organics, okay? And so when you don't show up here, you're losing that 60 to 70% of the jobs. So your Lubbock leak detection is not here. You are down here as far as Earls, okay? The higher you are in the organic section, okay, the closer you are to this top, the more percentage of the available traffic your website will get, okay? The first and second positions can get over 30% of the available traffic. And so you definitely want to, even if you make it the first page, you still want to keep promoting to get as high as possible. Now, when we look at American Leak Detection, I'm not sure if this is just I'm not sure if it's a franchise or just a large corporation, but they're all over. And so this specific location is pretty generic. They do have the separate pages for their services. Each location has their own page. And so for these guys, their website is really strong. But you just have to do better. More content on the page. more pages, service pages, better quality blog articles, and then really supporting your websites with a backlink SEO strategy, okay? That's going to give you the boost that you need. So when we look here at Lubbock Leak Detectives, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to show your website is performing. This website has 0 out of 100. Google does not trust your website. And yes, it has to do with the quality of the website, but also power you're sending to your website. Your website is a tool. And like all tools, majority of them require power, right? So we send power to your website with backlinks. You need a lot of backlinks, but not just any backlinks. You want good quality do follow links that are closely related to the services that you are offering. Okay? And we need more of those than our competition. So right now you don't have pages, you don't have any content, you don't have any keywords indexed, you're getting 0 traffic. Okay? URLs, on the other hand, is getting over 1,600 in traffic. So you're doing fairly decent. You guys have a score of a 22 with over 3,000 backlinks. That is a ton of backlinks for only 158 referring domains. You only get credit for 1-to-1, so you have a ton of spam here, which is why this score isn't higher than it should be. This should be a lot higher with this many backlinks, okay? So definitely want to get rid of any spammy backlinks and only go after the good do follow backlinks. But you have a ton more pages than the Leak Detectives. You've been indexed for over 300 keywords. You're getting over 1,600 people to your website. However, when we do look at that traffic, majority of that traffic is branded. People that are searching for variations of your business name is getting the bulk of the traffic. And then you have a lot of national keywords here. And informational keywords. And so while those might drive traffic to your website, they're not necessarily local traffic or people that you can help. So we really do need to hyper focus on the local keywords, like this electrician in Lubbock. Don't know if you guys do electrical work, but you are indexed for it and on the second page and getting 27 people to your website on an 80 search pronouns. So just really focusing on the right type of keywords. Blog articles are important. Can be informational, can really help people do their research. They know who to call in certain situations, but they're not necessarily going to convert for you. So we really need to also be focusing on those money keywords, those buyer intent keywords, okay? When we look at the competitor, this specific location says it doesn't get any traffic. I'm sure it does. And it's only doing that, getting that traffic because of the weight of this website. Also, the search term that I used was leak detection. It's in the name of the URL. And then just the weight. Like I said, the higher this is, the more Google trusts your website and you can push that power to all the back pages. Especially when there's not a lot of people that are ranking for those type of keywords. Okay, so these guys are absolutely beatable. You cannot rank them on both of those websites when it comes to leak detection. You just have to really work on that strategy and then support it with backlink SEO. Okay, so hopefully you found this information to be helpful. Please feel free to take this information and run with it on your own. But if you'd like a partner to help you get there, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty. And we would be happy to chat. So please feel free to respond to my email, give us a call, and we would love to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.